Hello, David, Paul here. Well, what are we looking at here? What we're looking at is the rear gable end of the A-frame. It's been difficult to measure things and work in these conditions. So what I've done, this is the outside of it, so it's not so pretty. But the precise measurements, it is equilateral triangle here, but the precise measurements don't really matter that much. And the reason why is because we're going to flip it. This part here is going to be on the outside, and all that is there to do is provide some structural stiffness to it. But on the other side, that's what I call the pretty side, we have wood which is being rounded over. And you always choose the, when you look at some timber, take a look at it and pick the pretty side or the ugly side. And this is the pretty side, and that's the ugly side. So the ugly side would have more like marks on it and things like that. So you would choose the side that would require the least work to get it looking really nice. Now later I'll sand this, but you'll see that I've rounded this over. Like on the main body of the cabin, I've done a lot of rounding over. I like that. I just like that look, the softened look to things. Everything I ever build is always rounded over on the edges. So that, as you can probably just see there, you can see the roundovers there, and that will be put in as the inside part. And it's quite loosely fitted together, it's not holding together well. I must get some better nails. Little tip, buy annular ring nails. They're much better. They just bite the wood better. So that's the rounded off edges. Now there will also be strengthening bats which run across here. Here's a nice pretty piece. It's a shame I can't use that inside, but it's too short. So they will go across the centre there to provide more stiffness. I'm using felt roofing nails which really don't grip the wood very well. I must get some decent nails later. I'll double down on that and put some more in. I'm hoping to get my screwdriver back, my power screwdriver. It's not here at the minute, and then I think I'll screw all that down, which will make it a lot stronger. And that's it. That's just given me an idea. Actually, you can actually use flooring screws, which are buried head flooring screws. They've got a hexagonal drive in the centre, and the thing buries itself in the wood. And you can use that on a decorative side and just fill the hole, or just hit it with a hammer and then it just disappears. And they grip the wood much better. So I may do that actually. That's a very good idea. I don't have a G-clamp. If you're going to nail a couple of pieces of wood together and use a G-clamp to pull them together before you nail them, the result's much better. Otherwise they just vibrate like crazy and pull themselves apart. But anyway, there it is. One gable end almost ready for installation. A few more bits of lots of wood to go on here, and then we're done. And then that's in. And then I have to fabricate something for the front end of the cabin, and that will be a bit more tricky. That's going to involve windows and things like that. Their window's got to be mounted in, and the whole gable end is going to become the door. It's just going to rotate like that. Maybe. Unless I think of a different style, which I've just thought of. I could actually put a door which slants across. The problem with this is this cabin is so small. Tiny cabin. This is a tiny cabin. Instead of tiny house, we're tiny house here. But man, it's really proved itself to be a great concept. And soon the trees will be growing up and covering it over. Let's take a look. So everything is asleep. It's winter time now, and all the vegetation's asleep. I've got two more trees left to plant here, and I've got to clear the site up, but it's not my priority at the minute. If I open a packet or anything like that, like the red bread or something, I throw it out the door, and I don't want to go out and start putting it in bins or something. I just throw it out the door so that if it attracts rats, they'll go for the packet and not come into the tent. You can't have any food open in the tent. Anyway, that there is one of the trees. There are many around here which almost invisible. There's one there, one there, one there, one there. These are okay, they're alive, and hopefully this summer they will really thicken out and start to hide this cabin, although it'll probably take 2 years to get this all covered over. But I'm not getting bothered here anyway by anybody, so maybe I'll just get away with it anyway and not need to hide. I don't really like to have to live in a stealth cabin, but you know, that's the way it is. So there you go. Progress being made. I have 2 more trees left to plant, which they're spares, so I'm going to put them in front of the cabin to try and create as much rapid cover to the front of the cabin as I can do. This is not very good land here. I don't know if there's any toxic chemicals in it or what, but it's not ideal for growing trees and stuff. But there's a tree, there's shrubs and stuff, and sycamore trees seem to put up with living around here, but it's not exactly the best of land. I don't know why, but I'll feed them all with organic fertilizer. I'll try and get this reconditioned and improve the environment a bit for everything. Quite a lot of birds around here. They come round in the morning. I have a little family of robins who I feed in the morning, and they've become kind of like my pets, you know. They're not scared of me, and they know that I'm going to give them food. So I'm trying to give them fatty food which is full of energy. So I throw some fat out for them, and I'm going to soak some porridge in fat and see if that'll do the job. So there you go. Geez, last shot of the tent stroke cabin. Jesus be with you.